Hi everybody, welcome back. So we're off to a fantastic start to a new week and I'm in an incredibly happy mood. The sun is shining, I've got to the bottom of my laundry basket. It's the small things that we appreciate as we get older. But spring has sprung. I am so happy in the sunshine, the dogs are happy. We've been out for some incredible walks over the last couple of days and I discovered that bluebells don't just come in the colour blue. There's a patch just down the road from me and they come in pink and white. You learn something new every day. I have only ever seen blue bluebells, so this blew my happy little spring brain apart. So, lots of news coming out at the moment. I'm also in a good mood because it's a really romantic story I'm going to start off with. But I've got to say, I said in the other video that I think that Meghan is stirring a cauldron in her kitchen in Montecito. It's got nothing to do with jam, because I believe that her brain is just constantly trying to think of a way that she can do something that will get her in the headlines when there's a royal event, a royal engagement, or in this case, William and Catherine's anniversary. She's pulled out the stops to get herself attention because she's getting a bit desperate. But as I said, we're not going to start with her. We're going to talk about the royal lovebirds because 14 years ago today, these two got married and I still get butterflies in my stomach. It was the best wedding that I've ever seen, the best televised event of pomp, pageantry and unbelievable romance. We are talking old school Disney film came to life. I say old school because any of the remakes of Disney films, let's be honest, they've pretty much butchered. But we had a real life princess moment marrying her prince. Oh, what a glorious and beautiful day. People celebrated all around the world. It was an incredible outpouring of public love for Catherine and Prince William on this special day. I remember holding my breath as she got out of the car. The way her father looked at her still has me in tears. The moment when her sister Pippa had fixed her train and Catherine looked back smiling as she waved at all of the people that were waiting outside. Pippa once again arranged her train, then took the hands of the adorable bridesmaids as their proud father gulped and walked her down that red carpet to her incredible future husband. When they took their vows, honestly, I can feel myself choking up now because, oh, it was just so beautiful. In fact, I'm going to play a clip because it's the way Prince William looks at Catherine when she starts saying her vows.
I, Catherine Elizabeth.
I, Catherine Elizabeth.
Take thee, William Arthur Philip Louis.
Take thee, William Arthur Philip Louis.
To my wedded husband.
To my wedded husband.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
To love and to cherish.
To love and to cherish.
Till death us do part.
Till death us do part.
Honestly, I'm going to have to retouch my makeup in a minute, but the way he just looked at her, as I said, it gives me butterflies. And the fact that all of these years later, they still have glances like this for each other. They are such an amazing couple. And I remember the grief that Prince William got, the pressure that they had being so young, the nasty things, the weighty Katie. And all it was Prince William needed to make sure. He took his time before proposing, not just for his own sake. He didn't do it because he was being selfish. He wanted to make sure that she understood what her life would be like if she chose to stay with him. He knew how important it was for her to understand and to experience it gradually, to decide for herself if she could truly be happy under so much pressure and scrutiny for the rest of her life. They've been through so much together, especially in the last 14 years. They've had good times, amazing times, but they've also had heartbreaking, stressful and very sad times. But they've come through it stronger than ever and more determined to use their incredible platform and privilege to do as much good as possible. They have 3 beautiful children that are full of so much happiness and fun whenever you see them. We're really beginning to see the children's personalities emerging through the parts that Catherine and William share with the public. It's obvious that the children are growing up in a safe, stable and loving family environment. Catherine and William make an incredible team as mum and dad, as wife and husband, and also as a prince and princess of the UK and the Commonwealth realms. I'm very proud to have them as one day as our future king and queen. Whilst I certainly do not want to rush that day, I think that these two will be as strong and as wonderful in their reign as they are in their marriage. These two honestly really do brighten up my day, and I am so happy for them celebrating another wedding anniversary, and I'm sure we are going to see many, many, many more to come. Now, today they have actually gone up to Scotland where it all began. They are visiting the Isle of Mull and the Isle of Iona, where they are known as the Lord and Lady of the Isles. They will be spending a couple of days touring the island and visiting places involved with their royal foundation, which I will of course be covering in coming videos later in the week. They are also having a romantic overnight and private stay for their anniversary whilst they are staying there. Scotland of course is a very special place for them because it's where they fell in love at St Andrews University all those many years ago. It is quite literally where the magic happened. So now that I've made you all mushy and happy and probably a little bit teary-eyed, some of you, we need to talk about the desperate Duchess of Montecito. So I think we all knew that Meghan was going to make an appearance. She was going to do something. As I always say, you can synchronise your watches to it. And it all started yesterday when stories started coming out across lots of different media outlets. And to me, that means that their team have fed this particular storyline, this particular narrative. And that was Meghan is wishing to trigger a truce with the royal family. Apparently, Harry and Meghan want a reconciliation. Well, they're going a funny way about it, aren't they? I don't believe that that's true. I believe it's just a way to get themselves, as I said, into the newspapers. It starts that whole story up again, because if they're putting it out there that they want a reconciliation and the royal family are still cutting them off, it's evil royal family, poor Harry and Meghan. But this is the problem, and this is where she's getting desperate. I believe that the royal family have cut them off. This is why she keeps trying to poke them. She is doing it because she wants acknowledgement. She wants and needs the relevance. She needs the royal connection. They can't pretend to be royals when they are totally cut off from the royal family. Everything that they have done has, well, let's just say it hasn't quite turned out to how it was projected when they first announced Megxit, if you remember. They were going to be billionaires, they were going to be like Michelle and Barack Obama, they were going to have sellout tours, all sorts of things. Well, Harry is still continuing to try and pimp himself out like he's someone of interest these days, and Harry charges between $500,000 to $750,000 to speak at an event. Now, I can't imagine there are many takers for obvious reasons, but as for Harry charging that much money, on the same website, you've got Andre Agassi, okay? He was once the world #1 tennis champion. And funnily enough, the same ghostwriter did his autobiography that did Harry's. Two very, very different books, completely. But he only charges £100,000 to £125,000 to speak. Harry, closer to £1 million. The last time that I know Harry got paid a lot of money was the JP Morgan, and that was when he first left. And that speech didn't go down well, because apparently he spent the time talking about the memory of his mother's death, how it affected him, the fact that he was in 7 years worth of therapy. It seems that his emotional baggage and exploiting his mother was all that he had to talk about, even way back then. Now, as we know, he's definitely exhausted that card, so I can imagine he's even more tedious and boring. We only have to look at when he speaks at any event, really, even if it's the Invictus Games where he's meant to uplift people. He is doom and gloom and misery personified. Even his voice makes people stick their fingers in their ears and change the channel, let alone his bitter, angry-looking face. Now, as for Meghan's latest list of failures, let's be honest, she can dress it up how she wants. That her show has made her a global success. It's made her a global laughing stock, let's be honest. There has been more people watching the many piss takes that are out there of With Love Meghan than what there were that actually watched her show. So many people have been put off by Meghan's podcast, it wasn't even on the top 100 in the UK and the USA. She has in fact been beaten by guided sleep, meditation and hypnosis, which came in at number 75 on the Spotify charts. It reminds me of when their first podcast came out many years ago. Harry briefly featured, as did a 2-year-old Archie. Well, that got beaten by whale noises. Spotify should have really taken the hint back then. Meghan, the fashion icon that she is, once tipped herself to be the face, to be an ambassador of Dior, and quite clearly that Dior was shut in her face. Well, she has now come down a peg or two and she's now flogging designer clothes through a Shopify link that she gets commission for. As for Netflix, Live to Lead, nobody paid attention to that whatsoever. Polo, a complete and utter flop. Then you remember that they bought the rights to Meet Me at the Lake, a very popular book. Come on, that is not going to happen, considering Meghan hasn't even restocked her jam and her honey for her As Ever launch. She's not going to have the time to be directing and producing a whole feature-length film. Now, as for her apparent partnership with Netflix, she is definitely following a pattern here. She is already getting ready to blame them when the contract is not renewed. In her ridiculously out-of-touch Time 100 speech, she told the host, Time CEO Jessica Sibley, how she always loved to make a lot of jam. That's of course why we never heard about Meghan making jam. She never spoke about making jam, did she, when she had her TIG blog? You think that would have been the perfect place to launch that, considering she's been making it for years. No, I believe that Meghan started making jam when she found out that Catherine, Princess of Wales, it's actually a hobby of hers. Both she, her sister and her brother were taught when they were children by their grandmother how to make jam and chutneys. And Catherine famously gave Queen Elizabeth a jar of chutney when she didn't know what to get her one year. Meghan, as always, giving those single white female vibes, right? Especially when it comes to Catherine. But the thing is, I'm pretty certain, right, that Catherine would never give a jar of jam or chutneys to a friend and give it with a note that they then display on social media saying, from Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales. No, but Meghan has done that. Bearing in mind that Jamie Kern-Leenema is meant to be her friend, you just put a note in the basket. Hope you enjoy it. Lots of love, Meg or Meghan. Not just the Duchess of Sussex, not Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, but Her Royal Highness, which she knows, as part of the Sandringham Agreement, she is not allowed to use. So their quick clapback that they have done, because of course Meghan reads everything on social media, they've had a member of their team speak out and say, this was a personal gift, that's why she used it. Oh, well, as you do. She is completely trying to wind up the royal family because she wants a reaction from them. This is the exact same reason why she has been posting, as part of her commission-based selling clothes, she used Princess Charlotte's dresses, she used pyjamas made famous by Prince George when he met Barack Obama. Meghan is deliberately trying to court controversy, and it gives her relevance and her name mentioned alongside the royals. They, as I said, are getting desperate. But as for Meghan getting ready to pass the buck, as it were, when their contract expires with Netflix with regards to jam, she tells Jamie on the podcast that when she started sending out her little jam presents to people, Bella Bajaria, the chief content creator of Netflix, said, "There's a show there." Oh yeah, I just bet that she did. I'm sorry, I will take that with a pinch of flour sprinkles, because I'm sorry, I just do not believe that one for a second. But it's a way that Meghan can start passing the buck. But this is of course Meghan's pattern. Negative backlash, she has to blame someone else. Harry does exactly the same. When season 2, or shall I say part 2, of With Love Meghan will air, it will be pulled apart just the same as the first. She has been completely ridiculed because it is so fake. It was a huge vanity project. So of course she has had the piss taken out of her, so now she's setting up the stage to blame others. It's completely predictable. As is what lots of people predicted long ago, that Harry and Meghan were hiding their children until it got down to basically the last straw, the last desperate attempt, and they were all right. The children are now pushed out there nearly every day, which is just ridiculous considering Harry and Meghan are launching this whole no child lost to social media. Harry's preaching about children shouldn't be on social media as his wife is uploading his children almost daily. In a matter of 48 hours after Prince Louis's gorgeous video debut with him talking on camera, we had an Archie video of him talking to Meghan and feeding the fish. Then we had a Lily video of her telling her mum how beautiful her jam is in what I can only guess is a Boston type accent. I'd imagine perhaps the nanny is a New Yorker. Then Meghan straight away gets another post out there with her loves as they are picking roses in the garden. But the extra bit that she did was she's appeared on Jamie Kern-Lima's podcast and she's cried because obviously it's being filmed. It would be no good if it wasn't being filmed like her podcast. This is the perfect opportunity. She's doing the whole no makeup routine or no makeup to make it look like that she's bare and fresh faced. Very Pamela Anderson, isn't it? But obviously Meghan cries on demand, and with mascara and that, you know, it might run. With no makeup, it makes it easier to fake. One tear, left eye, go. So the reason why Meghan breaks down on the podcast, right, aside from obviously trying to get attention, she is talking about her love language for her children, right? So this is Meghan obviously sobbing. We've seen this look before. As I said, I think it's so fake with her. I've seen toddlers with better acting skills. At least they go all out and they have the wobbly bottom lip. So why is Meghan crying in this podcast? Well, she got emotional when she said she's created a time capsule for her children, right? And it is all her children, okay? So she's created email addresses for Archie and Lily, which she emails them every night before bed. This is obviously in between filming herself reading a book for when she and Harry are never with the children. Meghan is a very, very busy woman. So she sends these emails to the kids. She includes pictures, paintings that they might have done, report cards from school at 3 and 5, okay? So when they then get older, they will be able to open this time capsule. She tells Jamie, maybe when they're 16, maybe when they're 18, they will feel she loved us so much. It's not about the grandeur of the gesture, it's the small moments that say, I see you. That doesn't cost anything, but will mean everything to them. Or else, right? I mean, notice her narcissism coming through there. Mummy loves you more than ever. So that's going to be a running theme, isn't it? It's not daddy and mummy love you, we love you. No, it's I love you the bestest. Especially when you think every time we hear the children speak of late, they're praising Meghan. You know, they almost sound like timid around her. Lily had to say, yes, mummy, your jam is so beautiful. She is no doubt asking those children to record the videos over and over like we've seen with her until she gets the video perfect. That's why I think the kids sound odd. Lots of people say that it's, you know, it's adults. I think the kids are just exasperated by the time that their mum said, no, you need to say it like this. You need to say it like this. Make sure you say that. Lily, pronounce it properly. It's so beautiful. But can you imagine being Archie and Lily when they turn 16 or 18 years old, right? They'll be expecting maybe a car or driving lessons, maybe a cash payment, a holiday, a nice memorable keepsake piece of jewellery. No, they're going to get 16 or 18 years worth of mummy's crazy all in email format. Still, at least it will give them lots of actual physical evidence that they can take into their therapist's office when they get older. Or even better, they can use all of that when they decide as adults to write their own book about their parents. Now, wouldn't that be a divine bit of karma? And I have to say, I'll pre-order mine now, thanks. So guys, that's it for me on this video. I will be back with you very soon. We will, of course, be talking about Catherine and William's time in Scotland. I also want to talk to you about some of the older royals and why I think it's becoming all the more important that they might have to recruit a few extra pairs of stilettos to be able to continue doing so much of the work and appearances that the royal family do. So I will be back with you very soon. Take care for now. Bye.